Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to today's video. Alright, got two cruise news stories for you today, and we're going to jump right in with a Carnival Cruise Line story. So, the Costa Luminosa, well, she is officially joining the Carnival fleet this coming September, and is going to start sailing from Australia under her new name, which is still going to be the Luminosa, but it's going to be the Carnival Luminosa. So she is going to be sailing, like I said, in Australia officially from October through April, then is going to move up to Seattle, Washington to sail Alaskan itineraries May through September, and then heading back to Australia. So she's going to be rotating between Australia and Seattle. Now, the Luminosa is a Spirit class vessel, so she will be joining her sister Spirit class vessels already with Carnival Cruise Lines, and she is going to get some updates, switching her over to a Carnival ship instead of a Costa ship, but she's only going to get a few before she begins sailing in September, so she's not going to have all of the Fun Ship 2.0 things on board when she initially begins sailing. They're going to have to add the remainder of those items later on. Now, they didn't exactly specify exactly which Fun Ship 2.0 items she's going to get versus which one she's going to get later. Once they kind of do some work on her, we can be able to see then, what changes they've made and what changes they will still have to make. Now, I have what I think is an important story, and I'm going to kind of explain why, because you may not agree with me right at first. So, Celebrity Cruise Lines has officially dropped the vaccination requirement for anyone under the age of 18, so 17 and younger, okay, on European sailings. So it's not here in the United States. This is only for European sailing. And I get it. You're probably saying, well, we sail from the United States. I sail from the United States. How does this affect us? Why even tell us a story about cruises that are not happening here in the United States where a lot of people are cruising from? And look, I get it, but I want you to think back to when there was no cruising, when we were in the middle of the cruise shutdown. If you remember right, cruising initially started in Europe, and we were watching Europe to see what exactly were they going to do as far as pre-cruise testing, vaccination requirements, masking requirements. Remember, a lot of what they started in Europe, a lot of what we first saw in Europe ended up in our conditional sail order here when we resumed cruising. So let's now move forward to where we are now, and as we're watching cruise protocols begin to step down, again, we're watching Europe. We've seen Viking. Viking came out and said, hey, no, you no longer have to take a COVID-19 test prior to boarding for European sailings. Now, Celebrity Cruise Lines, they're saying 17 and younger no longer have a vaccination requirement to sail in Europe. So if things work logically like they did during the resumption of cruising, as we begin to see the protocols step down in Europe, we should, in theory, begin to see them step down here in the United States. Now, what I purely suspect, that they're going to do at least right away is they're going to watch. Is Viking going to have problems by not pre-cruise testing? Is Celebrity going to have problems by not requiring the vaccine for 17 and younger on these cruises over in Europe? That's what they're going to be watching here. And if they successfully do these things, then it is something that they will at least begin, I think, to consider here in the United States. We already have CLIA saying, hey, look, you no longer have to have the COVID-19 test to fly in the United States. The next logical step is to start looking at cruise lines and see if we can do away with the COVID test prior to embarkation. So while we have not seen a change yet, they're talking about it. The cruise lines are talking about it, saying this should be the next logical step. And I think if they are successful and continue to be successful on sailings over in Europe with reduced protocols, I do believe our protocols will begin to reduce here as well. And I suspect, and it's purely an educated guess, is that the pre-cruise testing will be the first one to go when they decide to make that decision. So that's why I think the changes in the protocols in Europe are so important, at least to keep an eye on, because I kind of look at it as like a little crystal ball. We can kind of look at it and see what's going on there and what we can expect to possibly see going on here. Now, I could be 100% wrong. Completely wrong. This is only my educated guess, and only time is really going to tell if I'm right or if I'm wrong. But I truly do believe it is worth keeping an eye on. And that's going to be your cruise news video for today. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up. Have yourself a great day, and like always, we will see you out on the high seas.